If you thought the situation between Lil Tim and King Von's family was finally cooling down, think again. Because last night, the internet exploded in ways nobody saw coming. And this time, the shockwave didn't start with a blogger, a fan page, or a leaked DM. It came straight from King Von's mom herself, and her message hit the internet like a bomb with no countdown. The moment she spoke, fans froze. Influencers paused their live streams. Rap pages went into emergency mode. Because the words she dropped weren't vague, weren't cryptic, and weren't accidentally misunderstood. She meant exactly what she said, and she made sure everyone heard it. And the part that sent the whole situation into chaos? Lil Tim finally responded. Not hiding behind lawyers. Not ducking interviews. Not letting the blogs spin the story for him. His response was raw, emotional, and nothing like the calm, quiet persona he's been trying to keep since 2020. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't polished. It wasn't safe. If you think this was just another internet moment, you're wrong. Because the message King Von's mom dropped had layers. And Lil Tim's response? Yeah, it only made everything 10 times messier. Let's break this all down, because what really happened behind the scenes is much bigger than what you saw online. From the moment King Von's mom pressed post, the energy online shifted like a pressure drop before a tornado. Fans said they felt it in their chest before they even finished reading the first sentence. Because this wasn't one of those vague, subliminal, maybe this is about somebody messages. This was direct, personal, loaded. And for the first time in a long time, Mama Von wasn't holding anything back. She didn't tag anyone. She didn't include names. She didn't need to. Everybody knew exactly who she was talking about, and the comments section lit up before the shade room even screen recorded it. And the wildest part? Her message wasn't loud. It was controlled. Calm. Almost too calm. The kind of calm someone has right before they drop a truth people weren't ready for. She spoke from that wounded mother place that fans haven't heard since 2020, and the way she worded things? Yeah, the internet froze. Stop acting like you ain't play a part. That one sentence alone had rappers, fans, bloggers, and random people who weren't even in the rap scene all trying to decode the layers. Some said she was talking about the streets. Some said she was talking about the courts. Some said she was talking about people who claimed they were protecting themselves. But most people knew this wasn't about the general situation. It was about Lil Tim. And within minutes, thousands of comments flooded in. She talking about Tim for sure. Nah, she tired, bruh. This been eating her up. This gonna get messy. But what nobody expected, what absolutely nobody on the internet predicted, was that Lil Tim would actually respond. Up until now, he's stayed quiet. Stayed low. Stayed out the spotlight unless someone tagged him. He's been living like a man who knows any sentence he says gets turned into a headline. But tonight, something snapped. Something got triggered deep enough for him to finally break the silence he's kept for almost 4 years straight. One anonymous fan page posted a screenshot claiming Lil Tim had opened his DMs and started replying personally to people who were dragging him. Someone else leaked a voice note that sounded like him, with that tired frustration in his voice, saying, "Ain't nobody tellin' my side." Another account claimed he went live for 8 seconds before cutting it off, but those 8 seconds were enough for the internet to spin off 1,000 theories. He didn't talk. He didn't explain. He just looked into the camera, shook his head slowly, and ended the live. But that's all it took. Suddenly, fans were convinced he definitely typing something. He about to say it. He finna snap for real. And they were right. Because 2 hours after King Von's mom's message hit the timeline, Lil Tim posted a video that instantly went viral. Not a rant. Not a yelling match. Not even a diss. It was him sitting in a car, hoodie on, face half-shadowed, voice low and steady like he was trying to hold everything together. And the first thing he said? Y'all don't know what happened behind the scenes. Just 7 words, but those 7 hit harder than any paragraph he could have written. Because for years, the internet has been telling his version of his life for him. Bloggers, commentators, rappers, fans, People who weren't even there. Everybody had their own edited version of what happened that night and what happened after. But Tim never gave his. Not the full one. Not the real one. Until now. In the video, he didn't get disrespectful. He didn't talk crazy. He didn't say Vaughn's mom was lying. Instead, he did something nobody expected. He sounded hurt. Not angry. Not defensive. Hurt. He said he never wanted to disrespect Vaughn's family. He said he understood they were still grieving. But he also said something nobody saw coming. Stop acting like I wanted any of this. And that line cracked the internet open. Fans started arguing instantly. Nah, this too emotional for him. He hiding something. I feel like bro telling the truth low-key. He been holding this in for years. Mama Vaughn ain't lying though. Tim only talking 'cause she called him out. Blog pages reposted it within minutes. YouTubers made reaction videos before the video was even 5 minutes old. Everyone had an opinion. Everyone thought they knew what he meant. But then details started leaking out from people allegedly close to both sides. And that's when the real chaos started. One source claimed Mama Vaughn has been holding onto messages, screenshots, and details that never dropped publicly. Another source said Tim been wanting to speak his side for a long time but was told to stay silent for legal reasons. Someone else claimed this isn't just about the original situation, it's about everything that happened after. The unexpected conversations between people nobody expected to talk. People who were once friends became strangers. People who were neutral took sides. People who weren't even supposed to be involved inserted themselves. And King Vaughn's mom? She saw it all. And being quiet for 4 years doesn't mean she forgot. It means she waited until the exact moment to speak, when it would hurt the most. Meanwhile, Lil Tim's circle reportedly told him to let it go, but he didn't listen. The emotional weight broke through, and his video was the first crack in a wall he'd been building ever since the incident. Fans noticed how shaky his breathing was between sentences. How he paused before speaking, like he was debating whether to reveal everything or keep the parts that would burn the internet alive. One fan commented, "Bro holding back tears, this ain't fake." Another countered with, "Nah, this manipulation. He's scared she exposing something FR." And that's when the third explosion hit. A voice note, allegedly from someone close to Vaughn, began circulating on Twitter, now X. The voice in the note said, "Tim ain't scared of the streets. He's scared of the truth coming out." Those 9 words hit the culture hard. Comment sections were filled with rocket emojis, clown emojis, broken hearts, fight memes, and conspiracy theories. Some insisted the truth was about the night in Atlanta. Others said it was about the people involved, not the event. Another group claimed Vaughn's mom was hinting that someone else fueled the situation behind the scenes. But there was a darker theory growing fast. One that said Lil Tim had been keeping a secret about that night that only a handful of people knew. Whether that secret was true or not didn't matter. The internet believed it. And belief spreads faster than facts ever will. And that moment, enough is enough, was the match that lit the next fire. Because the minute she reposted it, every blog, every rapper, every fan page, every street influencer with a ring light and a strong opinion jumped in like they'd been waiting for this day since 2020. And suddenly, the situation wasn't just about Lil Tim and King Vaughn's mom anymore. It was bigger. Much bigger. It turned into a full-on public conversation about loyalty, honesty, street politics, justice, regret, fear, and the weight of a mother's pain. The repost hit the internet harder than expected because Mama Vaughn rarely doubles down publicly. When she does, it means lines have been crossed. Multiple lines. Fans said they'd never seen her this fed up. Some said she'd been too nice for too long. Others believed she had been quiet because people behind the scenes told her to just let it go. But now she was done letting anyone silence her. And the wildest thing is, Lil Tim saw it immediately. People close to him claim he was scrolling through Instagram, saw the repost, locked his phone, then unlocked it again like he couldn't believe it was still there. One insider said he muttered, "Man, why she saying it like that?" Another claimed he whispered, ain't nobody trying to disrespect her. But no matter how he tried to process it, the internet wasn't giving him space. Screenshots of the repost flooded YouTube community posts. Twitter timelines turned into digital battlegrounds. TikTok creators stitched her message with dramatic music, explaining the situation like they were narrating a documentary. Whole timelines were screaming, "She calling him out. This ain't subliminals anymore. She tired of the lies. Tim gotta speak or stop playing victim." And that pressure, the pressure of millions watching, forced Lil Tim to respond again. This time, not through a quiet car video, but through a long, shaky, emotional voice note that instantly leaked to blogs. In the voice note, Tim said, "I ain't gon' keep letting y'all paint me like a demon." His voice cracked, not enough for most people to notice, but enough for the streets to recognize that this wasn't typical internet tough talk. He sounded tired, really tired, like a man who'd been living inside the same night for almost 4 straight years. He continued, "Y'all talking like I wanted bro gone. Like I ain't lose sleep over this. Bruh, this ain't something I celebrate." That one sentence sent thousands of fans into chaos. Because for the first time, Lil Tim wasn't talking like a street soldier. He was talking like a human being who didn't know how to survive the weight of the world's judgment. But here's where it took an even more unexpected turn. A message allegedly from someone close to O-Block dropped right after the voice note went viral. The message said, "He can cry all he want. The facts still the facts." The internet froze. Fans expected that to come from a random burner page, but the person dropping that message was someone known in Von's old circle. They weren't softening anything. They weren't forgiving anything. They weren't buying anything. This feud wasn't healing. It was reopening. Then came another twist, one that caught even the most hardcore fans off guard. An unverified but heavily circulated screenshot showed a private message Mama Von allegedly sent to someone in her inner circle. The message said, "He acting like he the only one hurting." Those 8 words broke the trending pages. Because up until now, the narrative had been simple: Von's mom grieving, Lil Tim silent, fans arguing, blogs stirring. But this message changed the entire tone. It suggested there were conversations and emotions the public never saw, pain she never expressed, anger she kept bottled up, and guilt, not hers, but guilt she believed someone else had been carrying quietly. In the middle of this explosion, a well-known DJ jumped into the drama during a live stream. He said, "Y'all don't know half the calls that happened after that night. Don't think people ain't talking behind closed doors." That single comment lit the internet up again, because people always assumed the two sides never communicated privately. But this DJ was implying that there were private conversations fans never knew about, conversations that might change everything if they were ever revealed. By this point, fans shifted from arguing to investigating. People who weren't even Von or Tim fans joined threads just to understand what was really going on. Reddit filled up with theories, some reasonable, most outrageous. One thread claimed Lil Tim had info he never shared. Another claimed someone in Von's own circle didn't want the truth out. But the most viral theory said Mama Von knew something crucial that the internet didn't. Meanwhile, bloggers began claiming they received anonymous DMs saying, "She said enough without saying everything." That line alone fueled hundreds of TikToks. Fans speculated that she might be protecting somebody, not publicly defending them, but privately avoiding detonating the entire truth because it would take too many people down. And then, Lil Tim posted again. This time, it was a note on his Instagram story, "I can't keep explaining what people don't want to hear." Fans were instantly split. Some said he was deflecting. But the most popular interpretation was that Tim was wrestling with something deeper, fear. Not fear of the streets. Not fear of public backlash. But fear of what revealing the full truth might do to the memory of King Von or the safety of the people involved. Into this chaos came one more spark, a comment from someone claiming to be a cousin of Von's. The comment read, "If he tell what really happened, everybody gon' look different." Because the moment the internet realized the truth wasn't a single detail but a chain of hidden conversations, private guilt, and unresolved pain, is exactly when everything snapped. The tension that had been building for days finally boiled over, not online, but behind the scenes. According to someone close to the situation, Lil Tim had spent hours voice noting his friends, pacing around the house, replaying the messages from Von's mom, breathing heavy like he was preparing for something he wasn't ready for. One person claimed he said, "If I say everything, it ain't gon' help nobody." Another said he whispered, "If she huttin', I'm huttin' too." That alone shook fans, because for years the internet painted Tim as cold, distant, unbothered. But these leaks made him look like a man carrying something heavier than the public ever imagined. Meanwhile, Mama Von wasn't backing down. She didn't soften her tone. She didn't delete anything. Instead, she posted a single photo of Von smiling, with no caption. But the lack of words said more than any paragraph could. Fans felt it instantly. The pain. The exhaustion. The message beneath the message. It wasn't about beef. It wasn't about clout. It wasn't about the internet. It was about a mother still grieving her son and refusing to let the narrative be twisted by anyone. Not fans, not bloggers, not the streets, and definitely not the man she believed played a role he pretended was self-defense only. Then came the twist nobody expected. A blogger with alleged connections to both sides posted a cryptic statement saying, "There were conversations the public don't know about. Ain't nobody innocent." That sentence flipped the entire culture upside down. Fans immediately began dissecting every word. What conversations? When? Between who? Were they secret calls between teams? Did people meet up behind closed doors? Did someone apologize privately? Did someone admit something the world never heard? And most importantly, was Lil Tim hiding a detail that could shift public perception forever? Night fell, and instead of cooling off, the situation evolved into a full-blown online investigation. Screenshots, timelines, old interviews, street rumors, unverified messages, everything became evidence. People were digging through Tim's old posts, analyzing his facial expressions from years ago, comparing them to Mama Von's energy today. The drama wasn't slowing down. It was accelerating. Around midnight, new audio allegedly leaked. A 6-second clip. Just 6 seconds. But in those 6 seconds, a voice that sounded like Tim said, "You know what was said before it happened." That sentence spread like wildfire. If real, it implied something major, that words exchanged before the incident played a role in the chaos. Fans connected dots instantly. Did someone provoke someone? Was there a confrontation the public never heard about? Were there threats exchanged? Did someone warn someone? The theories spiraled out of control. But as fans were spiraling, someone close to Tim came forward in a comment section, saying, "He's scared to tell the full story because people gone twist it." That comment didn't calm anything down, it made it worse. Because now, fans weren't just debating whether Tim was lying or telling the truth. They were debating whether he was protecting somebody else. Maybe even someone on Von's side. And that possibility shook the internet more than anything else so far. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't clean anymore. It wasn't Tim versus Von. It wasn't right versus wrong. It wasn't self-defense versus murder. It was layers, emotional layers, street layers, personal layers, hidden layers. And through all that mess, one thing stood out. Mama Von believed there was more to the story. And fans believed Tim knew something she'd been hinting at for years. As the pressure built, people close to Tim urged him to delete his posts, log off, and calm down before saying something irreversible. But instead of disappearing quietly, Tim posted a final message to his story: "Y'all think y'all know, but y'all don't." That post broke the internet in half. Some fans felt sympathy. Others felt anger. Others believed he was finally cracking under the guilt. And some felt he was baiting the situation to make himself look misunderstood. But either way, everyone was watching. Meanwhile, Mama Von finally spoke again, not with shade, not with anger, but with heartbreak. She wrote, "I lost my son. I gotta live with that forever. Ain't nobody else hurting more than me." That post made millions pause. All the arguments, all the theories, all the jokes stopped for a moment. People were reminded of the human cost behind all the noise. This wasn't just a viral moment. This wasn't just trending content. This was a mother reliving her trauma every time someone mentioned Vaughn's name in a headline. Even people who defended Lil Tim felt the weight of her words. And even people who defended Vaughn realized the situation wasn't black and white. Then a final twist hit. Someone allegedly close to Mama Vaughn posted a comment saying, "She not trying to start nothing. She trying to end the lies." That comment became the new center of the storm. And this is where the story reached its emotional peak. Lil Tim recorded another response, but this time he didn't post it. Instead, someone on his team supposedly leaked it to a blogger. In the clip he said, "If I tell everything, I'm the villain. If I say nothing, I'm the villain. So what y'all want me to do?" That moment showed exactly where his mind was, trapped between guilt, fear, truth, regret, and the world's expectations. The drama didn't end tonight. It didn't resolve. It didn't calm down. If anything, it exposed the deepest wound in this entire story, the truth everyone claims they want, but nobody is ready for. And now the world is looking at two people, Lil Tim and King Von's mom, waiting to see who breaks the silence next, and what it will mean for everybody watching. And now we're here, the moment where all the noise quiets just enough for the real question to hit you. What happens next? Because after everything that's been said, leaked, posted, hinted at, and whispered through private conversations, this situation is nowhere near finished. Not even close. Lil Tim has spoken more in the last 48 hours than he has in the last 4 years, and King Von's mom has made it clear she's done staying silent to protect anybody's feelings. That alone tells you things are shifting, not slowly, but violently. The truth is circling both of them like a storm cloud ready to burst, and when it finally hits, it's going to change the way fans look at that night forever. But here's the part nobody's admitting out loud. Both sides are holding pieces of the puzzle. Mama Vaughn knows more than she's said publicly. Lil Tim knows more than he's willing to explain. And the streets? They know things that will never be said online. So the real question isn't who's lying. It's who's finally going to say the part they've been avoiding. Because this is bigger than comments, bigger than reposts, bigger than blogs stirring the pot. This is about heartbreak, loss, guilt, and survival clashing in public for the whole world to dissect. And whether you think Lil Tim is crying out of guilt or crying out of exhaustion, or whether you believe Mama Vaughn is exposing the truth or exposing her pain, one thing is clear. Something is coming. So what do you think? Is Lil Tim finally cracking under pressure?